love you, Polly.
I care, let it be.
Welcome to another Fast Tech video. Before we start, please go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and click the bell next to the subscribe button if you want to get notifications. That lets YouTube know that we're doing the right thing. It costs you nothing and it helps us out a lot. So please go ahead and do that before we start this video. This video is brought to you by the Fast Tech Pro Auto Kit, which is an automatic screwdriver plus bit set that you need to disassemble any electronics device, including your Xbox, your PlayStation, your Apple iPhone, MacBook, you name it. Links in the description box, and you can use the coupon code YouTube for a discount. Let's get started. Now, to start the disassembly, you're gonna have to remove a stand if you do have one attached. And this is how you can remove the stand. Once you have the stand removed, if you have one attached, we're gonna start removing the case. And to do that, we're gonna grab it from the corner that says PS and then pull it this way, like that. Now we're gonna do the same thing on the other side, flip it over, lift it from this corner here, like that, and it's gonna come right off. As you can see, they're being held in by some kind of a unique clip design. Now we have the case out of the way, and now I'm going to be showing you guys the easiest upgrade on a PS5, which is the SSD upgrade. It's very, very simple. Once you get here, all you got to do is remove this screw with our Fast Tech Pro toolkit, which includes the Phillips bit that you need to remove this screw and the rest of them. As you can see, it has a longer Phillips screw. It looks similar to the older PlayStation hard drive screws, but this time around it's longer. We're gonna lift up the panel for the SSD like that, and this is where you're gonna install your new SSD once you order it from fasttechstore.com. We do have PS5 compatible SSDs in stock, and links are gonna be in the description box. You can use the coupon code YouTube for a discount. One of the main differences I noticed between this and the PS5 disc edition is obviously there's no disc drive. And this piece right here was a lot longer because there was also connectors for the disc drive, but they're obviously gone now. So now I'm going to be showing you guys how to replace the fan or even clean it out, because if you're watching this video 2-3 years from now, chances are your PS5's accumulated some dust. I hope Grand Theft Auto 6 is out. If you're watching this 2 years in the future, I really, really do. But most likely that's not gonna happen. So we're gonna lift up this plastic grate here. It's like a little piece that just comes up. Gonna lift it up. It's just being held in by clips. It's gonna come right off. It acts as an air vent in the front. And if you look at the front of the PS5, you'll notice these if you look close enough. Now we're going to use this tool to unhide the fan connector, which is hidden under this tape. We're going to get this out of the way. And now we're going to remove the fan connector. The cable is tucked in here. We're going to get it out of the way. We're going to remove the connector. We're going to grab it by the white part. That's part of the fan, and not the off-white part, which is part of the motherboard. Please be very careful with this part, otherwise you'll rip your connector out. So you grab it by the white part, not the off-white part, and you can even pinch all 3 cables at the same time, not one at a time, because then you'll pull one of them out. But if you grab all 3 of them and pull it out at the same time, it will come out. And I know some dorks are going to be in the comment section, oh, you'll pull your cable out. Guys, this is a lot safe. It's a lot safer to do it this way than how some of you guys do it, where you'll just rip the off-white connector right out of the motherboard. So that's why I'm telling you guys to maybe even pinch it by the cables if you haven't done this before, like I have. Just saying, because I don't want you guys to break your shit while you're doing this. Now there's some Torx T8H screws, not regular T8 screws, that we're gonna have to remove. And that bit is also included in our Fast Tech Pro Auto Kit. So we're gonna switch to our T8H. Now we're gonna remove these Torx T8H screws. This one in this corner is longer, as you can notice, so please take a note of that when you're reassembling, okay? This one's short. This one's long also, all right? But it's not the same kind of long screw that you have here. Take note of the differences, guys. This is why, guys, you should subscribe to my channel. Nobody's showing you guys how to do this. So guys, please take note of where each screw goes. These two screws on this side are the same, but these screws are totally different. The small one goes here, and the longest goes in here, and these two go in here. So please take note of that. Now we're gonna lift up this mesh. It's gonna come right off. And now we're gonna be able to lift out the fan. That's the fan. It's a Nidec. The model number of the fan is G12L12MS1AH-56J14. And we sell these fans on our website. Links are going to be in the description box and top comment. Also, when you're at this point, you'd want to clean out this fan, and also this heatsink that you're seeing in here. That heatsink right there is going to accumulate dust. And also that heatsink right there, that's actually all one heatsink, but this heatsink is going to accumulate dust. So what you want to do is buy a compressed air can from fasttechstore.com and blow the air out, especially if you're getting, I'm going to imagine it's going to be called a PS5 is too hot error message, because on the PS4s this error was called PS4 is too hot. So I'm going to assume this one's going to be called PS5 is too hot. Your system's going to give you that blue screen, or a screen which is going to say PS5 is too hot, and it's going to shut right off. I look forward on doing a dedicated video on this in the future. But again, we sell the fan and the compressed air can on our website, fasttechstore.com. Now we're going to remove all of the torque screws to get this side of the case off. There's also some other screws that we have to remove as well on the other side. But as I remove these screws, I'm gonna leave them right next to their hole so you can see which one goes where when you're reassembling this thing. So a lot of you guys, that's how you're gonna be reassembling this, is watching this video in reverse. As you can see, this one's extra long. And that one is also a long one. It's a little bit more difficult to get it out of there. So the holes that the screws are right next to are where they go once you're putting them back in, right? These ones go in here, this one goes 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 in here, these ones go in here, these ones go in here. And again, guys, no one's showing you how to put this all back together. I see overviews and guys doing it really quick, so they don't really actually show you how to put it together. So then maybe because they want you to send it to their repair company once it's not fully reassembled and you can't put it all back together. But we're not like that. I want you guys to fully learn how to put this back together once you're done. And this is where these screws are gonna go, guys. So take a screenshot of this or come back to this point in the video once you're reassembling these, because you don't want to mix up these screws, right? Anyways, moving on. Now that I can see we've got all of these screws out, we're gonna flip the console over on the other side. Now there's a similar grate on this side that we're gonna have to pull off, just like we did on the other side. And it's held in by clips, and it's gonna come off fairly easily. I'm gonna remove some Torx T8 screws on this side. So on this side, the two screws that we removed are basically the same length, so it doesn't matter This one goes in here, this one goes in here. Again, for when you're reassembling this thing, which you eventually will. Now we're gonna flip it back over on the other side. All right guys, now for the last step. There is one other screw, and I saved this for last because in a lot of countries this is the warranty sticker, and there's another screw hiding under here that we have to remove to get the case off. And this is as far as we can go without removing the sticker. In certain countries, minus the United States, due to an FTC ruling, this is no longer considered a warranty sticker. But in other countries, this could be considered a warranty sticker. And if you open it, you might lose your warranty with Sony. So I do want to let you guys know that before we proceed. But luckily, there are ways around this sticker. You can open this sticker without damaging it, and I'm going to be showing you guys how to do that. So you're going to need a heat gun, which looks something like this. If you don't have a heat gun, because maybe you don't actually run a repair shop and you're just watching this at home, you can also use a hair dryer. So I'm gonna put this on a low heat setting. I don't want it too hot. I'm not trying to melt the plastic on the system. I just want to heat up the sticker so that the adhesive lets go and I can open up that system without leaving a trace, like Batman or something like that. Basically, I'm Batman now. Same thing. I'm Bruce Wayne. And I'm gonna set my heat gun to low temperature. I want to point it away from the system. Low fan. I want to set it to like no more than 200, I think. Okay, 240. 240, just because I know what I'm doing. But normally I'd say don't go over 200. And I'm gonna heat up the warranty sticker. Let's get my iPhone 13 Pro Max out of the way because that does not need to be heated. So we're gonna warm it up. And as you're warming it up, just run your finger over it so the adhesive gets pressed down and gets heated evenly. And make sure you're circling your heat gun like I am. You don't want to keep it at one point for too long. And again, this step is optional. You don't have to actually use a heat gun to remove the sticker. I'm showing you guys this step in case you want to remove it without damaging it, because if you do it without this step, it's going to show a bunch of XOs and you're going to see the PlayStation symbol, which means that the sticker is voided and they're going to know that you opened your system. Yeah, I'm warming it up. And as I do that, I'm also rubbing my finger across it, pushing it down. You guys will notice that on, at least on North American, Canadian, and American systems, these stickers no longer say warranty void if removed. And that's because of an FTC ruling that determined that manufacturers can't void your warranty just because that sticker is bypassed. So in US and Canadian consoles, you no longer see warranty void if removed. I don't know about European consoles. I haven't gotten my hands on one yet, but I wonder if that one is a plain sticker or if that says warranty void if removed. Now I feel like I can remove the sticker. Push it down one more time. I'm gonna use a knife here, my trusty Smith & Wesson. Just lift it up a little bit, and once you have a little bit of it lifted, you're gonna be able to just like lift the rest of the thing off, but you don't want any bends or anything like that in it either, right? You want it to look pristine. So once you have a corner up, slowly lift it up. Heat it more if you have to while you're doing this. I don't think I have to, but be slow. Be slow on this part. As you can see, especially the right side came off so smooth. Boom. Slowly, patience. Boom. Okay, as you can see, I didn't do a perfect job here. I wouldn't say it's a total fail, but it's kind of a fail because, I mean, if they saw this, they would know that this has been opened. So, as you can see, because I wasn't patient enough, I should have heated it up maybe a little bit longer, but due to the sake of this video and also because this stupid GoPro is running out of batteries again, and it overheats all the time. So I was in a little bit of a rush. So as you can see, you got an O and you got a partial X and you got another O here, but the rest of it came off pretty nicely. But you guys get the idea, right? This isn't a complete success here, but you guys know what to do. Now that we have that sticker out of the way, we're gonna remove the final Torx T8 screw that we need to get to the motherboard and everything else. And that is the screw that goes in here. I know I showed you guys the rest of them, but I left this one out for last. And that's the screw that goes in here, guys. Now, we should be able to lift up this side of the case off, and it's gonna come off like that. And now we got that case out of the way. There's some dust in here, which is surprising since this system is less than a year old. All right, so now we have access to the back plate and some access to the motherboard. That's the Bluetooth chip right there. If your PS5 is not connecting to your controller wirelessly and it only connects in safe mode with a cable and only in safe mode, not otherwise, and you've tried replacing your controllers, you need to replace this chip. But I'll get to all of that in a minute. We have to get some wires out of the way before we can proceed. There's some tape that holds these antenna cables. We're going to lift up this tape so we can get these cables out of the way. And this one here, boom. Wow, this time I got all the tapes off without breaking any of them. We're gonna lift up this antenna cable here. The black one goes here, the white one goes here. We're gonna get these cables out of the way. Then we're gonna remove these cables, white one here, black one here, lift them up, and they're gonna come out. They're antenna cables. This one here for the light board at the front. We're gonna remove that cable, and this one's for the power and eject button at the front. Well, no eject button in this case, just the power button. I got this confused with the disc edition for a second. I don't know why people do buy disc-free consoles, to be honest with you. I think it's a bad idea because you only have a digital game as long as the publisher, or as long as Sony wants you to have it. They can turn off your access to your digital copy in a second. That's why I like physical discs, and that's why I have a disc edition PS5. And even though I'm a tech guy and I'm supposed to be down with all the new trends, this is one trend that I don't like. And I know it's inevitable, we're moving in that direction, so this is most likely the last console generation that's even offered with a disc drive, but I just figured it was worth mentioning. Now, we're gonna remove all of these Torx T8 screws, and there's a lot of them. But fortunately, these are all the same size, so you don't have to worry about which one goes where. I don't know why there's so many fucking screws, man. Like, this is unnecessary. You don't need 2 or 4 reinforcements or 4 screws that are holding down the motherboard on the back plate that closely together. And these ones, they're all redundant. I think I'll have all of these out by my 55th birthday. Man, this is fucking annoying. I'm gonna be annoyed when I actually have to do jobs on this fucking thing. Bro, like seriously, my hands are fucking tired and I have an automatic screw. Now imagine guys if you didn't have the Fast Tech Pro Auto Kit. You would have had a broken hand by now removing all these screws. So that's why, buy this kit. It'll save your hands and therefore save your life. Buy the Fast Tech Pro Auto Kit. Last one. So once you have the 600 or so screws out, like that's how many screws they are. Like they feel heavy in my hand. I feel like I'm actually getting a workout right now. I could probably do some deadlifts with these. That's how many screws there are in my hand right now. It's ridiculous. Anyways, we're gonna lift out the motherboard, but we want to get the front plate out with the board because there's still a ribbon cable that's connected to it, and we do not want to break those. That ribbon cable is for the USB ports at the front, the C and the 3.1 USB port. So we're gonna get this out as elegantly as possible. We want to get the front plate out with the board. We don't want to do it separately. Before I do that, I'm gonna separate this tape from the heatsink. And now there should be nothing in our way. Boom! There you go. And that's the bottom panel. That's been separated. There's another screw here for the SSD. And perhaps that's why that plate was not separate. So we're gonna lift out this screw, and now there's also another ring here that you don't want to lose. It goes right here. We're gonna keep these together because you don't want to mix it up with the other screws. We're gonna remove these two screws, two more, get those MFers out, and now the back plate should be separated. And guys, you could have removed this back plate first if you removed those screws that I missed, so I apologize for that. And again, these systems are still relatively new to me, so I am also learning as I go, like you guys. So bear with me. I'm sorry, but you could have removed just the internals, as it is possible. All you got to do is push. Once you had the back plate off, all you got to do is push this clip down. Push down, make sure you push down, and then pull the cable out. Boom, like that. It's gonna come right out, but make sure you push the clip down before you do this. And that's the connector for the front USB ports. And as you can see, it has ears on it, and because I pushed the clip down, I didn't break the ears. Otherwise these would have broken off, and then you'd have some issues maybe. Now we're gonna remove the heatsink clamp, which is held in by two Phillips screws. We're gonna attach a Phillips bit to our auto kit. Boom. Boom. This one out. And very sturdy, good quality clamp here, very heavy. And we're gonna lift up this piece here. Make sure to be very careful around here because this is where your APU sits, and you don't want that happening. What just happened here. Luckily I caught it, but yeah, that's the kind of stuff you want to look out for. And if this does come separated, it's just clipped on. All you gotta do is push it in and it'll go back in like that. Now something interesting happened that I noticed, that the power supply came out with the motherboard, which on my PS5 disassembly videos that I did previously did not happen. So we're just gonna lift this power supply off at this point, and that's the power supply. Normally it's sitting in here in the case once you remove the board, but because I did forget to remove those screws, that's probably why it came out like that. But if you had removed the screws earlier, this would have just come out That's the PS4 power supply right there, and the model number on this is ADP400DR right there, and we sell these on our website. If your PS5 is not turning on, meaning there's no light at the front, no beep, you most likely need a new power supply, and we sell these on our website at fasttechstore.com, and also links are going to be in the description box. There's an antenna on the power supply, and this antenna is responsible for your wireless Wi-Fi and Bluetooth transmissions. To remove it, we're gonna push down this clip, unroute these cables, and just gently pull it out with a cable, not too much force, and the antenna's out. And we sell this on our website as well. Links are gonna be in the description box. Most commonly, this connection between these two solder points breaks, either one of these, and you can fix this, but make sure these two solder points never meet and the wire runs in the middle. That's the proper way of fixing it, and that's the only way it'll work. But if that fails, check the link in the description box. We sell them on our site. Now we're gonna remove the heatsink from the APU chip, and there's a bunch of thermal paste. This is actually thermal paste, not thermal pads, and it's gonna be sticking onto the board, obviously, so be very careful with this step. You don't need to rush this. This is the main component of your PS5. If you break this, you don't have a PS5 anymore. Eventually it's gonna separate like this. As you can see, that's the motherboard right there for this PS5 digital edition, model EDM010, and links for this are going to be in the description. Always, we sell these boards on our website. Matter of fact, that's why we're taking apart this PS5, so we can disassemble the system and send this off to a customer. Also, the power supply is going to a different customer, and that's the only way, as you guys know, to get these parts. Since Sony does not want us to have these parts, the only way to get these parts for you guys is to disassemble working systems and send them to you that way. And as long as the economics make sense and you guys keep liking the videos and buying the products, we will keep doing this. So thank you for your support. That's the APU chip right there, and as you can see, it's got an application of liquid metal perfectly applied, and on the heatsink as well. If you guys ever want to replace this liquid metal with an even better liquid metal, we recommend Conductonaut by Thermal Grizzly, and this is the best liquid metal that you can get, and we sell this on our website at fasttechstore.com, and links are also going to be in the description box. Installing liquid metal is not like installing thermal paste, because liquid metal is conductive, so if you get it on any components on your board, it will cause a short. So be very careful not to get any extra liquid metal on any other components except the die surface of the APU chip. That's very important. Moving on, that's the HDMI chip right there. This is a port that I think I'll be replacing quite frequently, because we already had some reports of these breaking. Also, the Panasonic video encoder chip, I believe these will fail as well. We have the Bluetooth/wireless chip here, and this is responsible for your Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connections. So if you're having Bluetooth issues, you need to replace this chip. That means if your controller is not connecting wirelessly or even with a cable, and it only connects in safe mode with a cable, you need to replace this chip. Links are going to be in the description box for this. Also, the heatsink we sell on our website as well, and this is what the heatsink on this PS5 digital edition looks like. And that concludes our PS5 digital edition disassembly video. Please go ahead and smash that like button if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel, and click the bell next to the subscribe button so you don't miss another PS5 video. Also, check out my vlog channel in which I travel the world and I record my adventures. Link for that is also going to be in the description box and top comment. And don't forget that we sell all PS5 parts, including everything that you saw disassembled today, on our website at fasttechstore.com, including this FastTech Pro Auto Kit, which is the toolkit we use to disassemble this PS5 today. This is Shiroz from FastTech signing out, and I'll see you in the next one.